Hey guys, it's Brandon, aka B.Rich Beauty, aka your beauty best friend. Happy Monday, y'all! We're talking all things insecure because it's the finale. We just went through it. We're talking about that and a lot more. You know what to do. Go ahead and grab that beverage. Let go. Jeremy.
Brandon, what's up?
I feel like we're matching today, and we didn't
We
even do this
are.
on
We're like
purpose.
friends. You got
You're
different
saying
world, and I just got Satan. I'm trying to stay not of the world.
you got Satan? Is that what you just said?
It says not today, Satan.
I was
So I
gonna
said
say
you are wearing a different world, and I'm trying not to be of the world.
of the world. I am.
Yeah.
So funny story. I wore this t-shirt a couple weeks ago to Starbucks, and the woman at Starbucks was like, "Oh my God, who are the people on your shirt?" And I was like, "It's a different world." She goes, "What world is it?" Oh,
That's funny.
Jacqueline,
Yeah,
it's before your time, sweetheart. So thank you for knowing. I should have known you would know
of
exactly who these
course.
names
That's
are that's sprawled across my
iconic,
chest.
iconic. It's so interesting because I'm not sure if I would have popped Denise on there, but
I mean, she technically is where it all started from. If it wasn't for the Cosby Show, we would not have a different world. Denise had to go to
but
college.
Ron, Winnie, we need that. What's that black girl name? What was her name?
Jaleesa.
Kim.
Oh, we do need Kim. Kim's not on it. So would you want to replace Denise with Kim?
It's only right because they have all the main different world people outside of Kim, and Denise was just there one with what's her name? Aunt May from Spider-Man,
She
and
Goodbye, Jeremy. Not maybe from Spider-Man. Jeremy, how
yeah.
was your Christmas sugar?
It was good. I'm down here in Sweet Home, Alabama, where the skies are actually very blue. It's almost 80
It's
degrees
true.
here today.
Very nice. Well, it's 75 here and sunny in Miami. And
Nice.
so
I
I
love
see
it.
you went back to your country roots. Now, here's the question, Jeremy. Don't look
Here's
at me
the
like that.
answer.
And everybody out there, is there a difference from being from the country or Southern?
Yeah, for sure. I think you can be Southern, and I think Southern is just a way of life and a way of expression, a way of being. And I think being from the country is just like, child, you have not been nowhere. You are, in a little town where it's no one store, the black people on one side, the white people live on the other side of the
Across
courthouse.
the track from
And
each other?
listen, right.
So, Jeremy, are you country or are you Southern? We're going to jump into today's topics. I just want to know what
I
you're saying.
am Southern. I'm from a college town, actually, the home of the University of Alabama, the greatest football team in the nation. Roll Tide.
Huntsville?
No, that's Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Huntsville doesn't have a team, but they have Melody and Martell and their team.
Okay. Listen, I don't know. Listen, you started talking football and I just got lost. So that
Oh,
being said, I've been having this conversation, this debate for the last couple of weeks with my friends,
okay.
country versus Southern. I call myself Southern, being that I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. I grew up in Atlanta. I love a good mint julep. I don't like walking barefoot outside. I feel
Yeah, I
like
was
that's
walking barefoot outside. Well, as we went barefoot, I was in socks. I don't know why we was just in socks, but we'd be playing outside just in socks.
yeah, that's country. Now,
It's elevated. We went barefoot. We had on covering in our socks.
socks.
So
Yep.
yeah,
Y'all ruining y'all good hang socks
in
outside in
fact,
the
my
dirt.
mom was not happy about that at all.
Having to use all the bleach.
All of it. Okay.
Jeremy, so you had a good Christmas. You're in Alabama. I spent my thanks for asking how my Christmas was.
Oh,
I spent my
how was
time.
your Christmas there?
Oh my God, thank you so much for asking. I
Hmm.
spent my time on the beach Christmas Eve and on
Oh,
Christmas Day. It was very
Nice.
hard not like for me. It was very hard that day.
Gotcha. I see. You got a little tan going on there.
Thank
You're
you.
not your usual Asian complexion, so
First of all, you, I see you're dragging the petty into our last live show for the year.
listen, that should have been a poll.
And we can make a poll. Don't question my Wong heritage, okay?
Well,
I am
okay,
a
I'm
proud
not.
strong Wong.
Listen, and are you
WONG.
also a descendant of Confucius? Are you
Okay,
also a descendant?
okay. I'm not Jenny. I'm not Vietnamese. I'm part Chinese, okay?
Okay, right.
Anyways, I decided to do the beach to kind of like socially distance myself from other people because I'm getting ready to go to Africa and I want to make sure I ain't got no reason for Omarion to be tap dancing next to me or in front of me on the side of me. He and his cousins can sit right. I don't have no reason to see Omarion and his friends. So I'm trying to be responsible-ish while still living
But
here in Florida.
listen, because you got to get to Africa because I need to be in Africa with you through your stories. So I need you to go.
I
Because when you
I
leave,
need you
you
to
leave
go
in like
too.
in a couple of days, and how long you gonna be gone for?
So I leave on Wednesday evening, and I'm gone until I come back into the country on January 6th.
Okay, great. So this is
Mhm.
our we're gonna be off for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
For
So once I leave, so after today, I think this will be my last like YouTube moment. I really want to take a vacation. So Beauty Besties,
good.
I will see you all after the New Year's. Once I get back from Africa, regain my time zones. But I wanted to take at least a good week off from social media in terms of like
Sure.
YouTubing. But I'm gonna have to post on Africa.
Right. So just hop on over to B.Rich underscore beauty to follow along.
Yes, 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 yes. All right, Jeremy, we have to talk because they say you always have to check on your strong friends. And I feel like I'm a strong friend. I feel like you're a strong friend. I feel like the Beauty Besties are strong friends. But I just need to know, how are you feeling after last night's Insecure finale? Series finale, not season. They're done. They're
Done.
gone.
Over. It's over. It's over now.
Let me make
Uh,
I'm so upset. I just got Botox done, so I can't really frown. I'm
right. No
so
expressions. Right. um, I honestly probably was a bit underwhelmed this entire season, and this season finale kind of also just was like, this is it. This almost could have been an email, but I love Insecure because it
not
was a
Viola
woman for
Davis. Not you
you said
grabbed your purse and wanted to leave because this could have been an email.
I did. That was my exact expression too. I was like, listen, let me go and walk on to my bedroom with an Annalise walk because it's like it was not it was giving what I thought it was gonna give, but it was probably to be expected because I felt like all season long it was just like giving us random episodes about nothing.
You I Okay, so I hear okay, I'm gonna be real honest. I felt some kind of way. I was messaging a homeboy of mine last night and he put things into perspective to me. He says, I think it was done. Excuse me?
No, I'm listening.
Uh-huh. I was messaging a homeboy of mine, and he says, I think it was done well because they gave us the journey and not like I think I was wanting a bow. Like I needed to know, like, did Issa die? Did she have 4 kids? Like, what happened with Molly? I needed to know everything. And we ended with time jumps, but we saw them on their journey to being secure, especially for Issa, right? Because if we think about the show being insecure and how it ended, I kind of feel like Issa became secure, right? And so when he said that, I was like, you know what? I'm not mad at that explanation, but I too felt some kind of way. I felt like parts of it was rushed. I felt like it maybe could have been a 12 episode season instead of 10, their normal, or 8. No, they did 10. I I felt like we could have gotten a little bit more. And because we didn't, that's why I felt a little need of like I felt like I still was left with a little bit of hunger as it related to Insecure. Now, I will say this to you. I don't feel like we got random episodes this season. I felt like we got episodes that got us to this point. But
Right, exactly.
when I think about season 1 through 4 and like actually 1 through 3 and then 4 and 5, it felt like they were hitting their ground hot. We got great sex scenes in the beginning. Folks was things were happening, and then it almost became like things started to cool off.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
is that because that's how life is sometimes? You know, when the block is hot, it's hot, and then as we continue to get older, things should cool off some. What are your thoughts there?
I felt like the block got hot for Issa in her career outside of Insecure, and that kind of showed itself in what we were getting in Insecure, especially this last season. I think, it felt like we can't really introduce new people. We can't really have something crazy because we only have 10, 30-minute episodes, and we also need to try to wrap up things. And so we're just going to show you their lives. But I used to like Insecure because I left like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Oh, wow, that I felt that. That was me and my friends, or oh, this is cool.
Do you
But
not feel
this
like you
season,
got that though?
not
Sorry
this
to cut you
season.
off.
Not this season. This season was very sleepy for me. But I watched it and I appreciated it because I love Insecure, and I would rather take a sleepy season than no season. So yeah,
But Jeremy, let's also be really, really frank and transparent. One,
let's do it.
they banged out a whole season for us in the middle of a whole pandemic.
Did
Right? And we know production for everyone changed during a pandemic. Hell,
yeah.
look at, the ballroom show Legendary on HBO Max. They had no live audience, right? So they tried to film during a pandemic, which they did. And then on top
Hmm.
of that, at the end of the day, as we know season 5 was going to be the end, did we really want to be invested in new people? We got Condola, the heifer got pregnant. Like we got a new person, but at the end of the day, we're invested in Molly, Issa, Tiffany, and Kelly, and Lawrence, and the rest of the Lawrence crew, the guys, right? But at the end of the day, those were our core people, the girls plus Lawrence.
Girls person. I mean, yeah, but I think we could have introduced just new things going on, right? And
Lawrence
explored.
had a baby.
I mean, listen, that was last season, and so it just kind of carried over. I mean, it was just nothing was really happening for me. His move was very anticlimactic back to LA. It was just like, oh, he's back. Okay. Yeah.
Listen here,
It-
Cisco and Ebert. What are you talking about? It was real life. Issa and Lauren had got back together. We was all happy. I don't know where that New York accent came from. We was all happy. Then all of a sudden, he got messed around and Condola got pregnant, and it threw a wrench in it as the season 4 ended. So
yeah.
obviously, you had to pick up season 5 with Lawrence having the baby and him being a new daddy.
Yeah. So let's have him being right, Zaddy Addy. Let's have him come back with the baby. Like it would have been nice to see him dating somebody. It would have been nice to see Issa just date somebody completely new. We get to know him and them and their relationship build. And we're like thinking that they're in this great relationship, and all of a sudden, bang, Lawrence is there. You've always been the one. It'd have been nice to see, like I did like Molly's journey. I thought that it was important for her to be able to grow and to come into herself, which was great. She was giving me Wakanda realness.
Absolutely.
So I loved it. And, I can always see more Tiffany because I love that character. I mean, that, that's, I love that character. That's me. I feel like Tiffany is me.
That's just because y'all light skin. So
I love Tiffany.
can we roll it back real quick? I love Molly's journey because one, Molly did give you black girl magic, cut all her hair off. We saw
Oh,
that she was getting comfortable and dating and being by herself. And then boom, Torian, her colleague, they kick it up. But by the way, Torian is a little goofy, funny looking, but he is cute, isn't
he
he?
is, he is. That's what I was thinking too. I was just like, wow, I never really struck it for him, but then I was like, you know what? He's really goofy, but he's very cute. And sometimes it's the simple things, right? That, really attracts you to a person. So I love that.
That episode with them eating the edible is really was
Um,
sold me on him. Now, have you ever had a sneaky link at work with somebody?
Not a sneaky link. No,
That's
I
what
don't
kids
work with
calling it these days. sneaky
Now,
link?
okay, so I never had a sneaky link at work, coworker, but I did have a at a job a long time ago, we'll say, a sneaky link with someone wh- where we were in my office in the evening time, having a little fun, and the lady tries to come into my actual office. And so I'm like, I don't know who, I'm like, she's like trying to come in, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I like fumble over there to like try to like put my head around, but I don't have any clothes on, obviously. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And she
Was it housekeeping?
yes, she was trying to come in my office, but I'm like getting my life, and I'm like, sis, what?
Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. So you was in office after 5 p.m. The
Yes.
person came into now. Did y'all already have this chemistry, or did they come in to get you to sign off on something?
Okay,
And
so that's what I was saying. So it was not no one that worked in the office. It was I was having drinks with a friend. Then it was just like, oh, I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. Well, let's go to my office. And so it's like,
so you
9:30,
used your
10
office as a hotel?
o'clock. No, that was only one time. And
No,
this
no,
was a
no,
long
no,
time
no. We're
ago.
talking
This
about
was
that
a long
moment.
time ago.
No, no,
This was a
no,
long
no, no. We're talking about that moment. They didn't want to go home, so you said, "Let's go back to my office." So you used your office as the hotel.
Well, no, I used the office because
It
I
was on
also
the hub.
needed to get something from there, right? And at the time I had a roommate, so I couldn't go, didn't want to really go home. And so, yeah.
But you're not answering the question. You're
What's the question?
literally avoiding the question. You just said that y'all were out having drinks. He didn't want to go home. You didn't want to go home. You had a roommate, so you had to go to your office to grab something.
I did. I
You
did figure out something. This was like about 10 years ago, okay? So,
so you're
no,
you
more than 10 years ago. This had to be like 13 years ago, okay?
so you use your
So,
office as a hotel.
well, I was a hoe in my office, and now I'm telling it. So,
And housekeeping caught you.
housekeeping called me.
That,
Let's
ladies
talk
and gentlemen,
about
is the
let's
story.
talk about these characters and where they ended up. So, how do we think about Tiffany? Do we think Tiffany? Are we do we like her journey, or how do we feel about her journey?
Well, Antoinette
Says,
wants to know what do you
what
think?
did you think about the AKA controversy, Antoinette? Um, so I am a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and so I feel a couple of different ways about it. I feel like I understood where people were saying if it did not get clear by the organization, then it should not have been done. But on the flip side of it, the amount of attention and energy it got to me was like insane, right? Because we don't even get these issues when we talk about voting, when we talk about things that affect Black people. But the moment somebody wears an AKA, a character, not even a real person, wears a AKA thing, we can now all of a sudden be all up in arms, which is beyond me. Like it's more important things in the world. And the same thing with the like when they had that sorority sisters TV show. And I'm like, listen, now all of a sudden y'all are concerned about the images it's putting out there. But when we have all these shows, these housewives, these basketball wives, these loving hip hops, and they can paint Black people and things like that in a certain kind of way, and y'all don't care. But oh no, not my AKA, not my Delta, not my Zeta, not none of that. Like it's crazy to me.
So I agree with you, and I think I'm not a social Greek like you. I'm like a business Greek, right?
Yeah.
Delta Sigma Pi. But what I do know for sure
And we're
is
not let me correct that. We are not a social organization. We are a service organization. So just FYI, culture for service and service for humanity. Thank you.
but I will say this. If not if the global level did not approve it, they would not have been able to do it. Otherwise they would have been sued.
Well, I think they did not. It was turned out that they didn't get it approved, and so now, if AKA would have just kind of went over there and did that, sure, I get it. I understand because they wouldn't do it to McDonald's, they wouldn't do it to anybody else. Don't do it to this, right? But the my focus was on the attention that people gave it from just everywhere else. I'm just like, listen, y'all don't even be this mad about anything that affects us for real, for real.
But here's the thing though. So
What's the
like did we want fake letters? Like we saw that with the different world, and you're like, I know what you're doing. Like they was giving us real moments, and Tiffany is a character. So people
Right.
got upset at the actress playing it that wore the letters
But
when
now
really
that was
her
too much.
character, exactly, the
Too,
character, wardrobing, all of those people just should have been taken into consideration. Those are the people that had to go through the workings of it all in order for it to be approved. So you're mad at the character, you mad at the actress for doing her job. And so I
facts.
think that's where it was misplaced.
Facts. Agreed. Be mad
Ooh,
at the
and
show.
that
Be
says
mad.
they're being sued by the sorority. For what,
Okay.
people? For
Oh,
what?
all right. Right. So, I mean, I get it because it is a business. I'm not mad at it actually, um, because they wouldn't do it to anybody else, and if they did to anybody else, they would get sued. And so, like, this is a legitimate organization business as well, and you can't just copy use
But
people's copyright.
I don't think Tiffany wore the character. Tiffany did not wear the shield. She wore the letters.
Letters, shield is all part of the brand and it's all branded and copyrighted by the organization. So I get it. I just like don't get people's the level of it because you never see that about important things. Where was this during elections? Where was this during like any of this other stuff? Where
Right,
was this? Like,
right. I
why do you
agree.
all of a sudden y'all can be so upset and angry about this stuff? But I mean, that's Tiffany. You know, she went to Denver.
She hates
She
it.
ain't happy.
She's
But
not.
you know, sometimes you got to go where your man got to go because that was his job. You know, it's interesting to see when you move to these other places how you can what you can afford compared to these larger cities.
I love
Um,
somebody.
because they was living really nice.
So okay, so let's talk about real life, right? Because I've never, outside of like college years, have been able to live in the same city as my best friends. We've always lived in different cities. We've always had to travel to see each other.
Hmm.
So with them breaking up the band and her moving to Denver, the pact was, we'll spend all of our birthdays together. And
Right.
as we see, they do a time jump here. So we see, Molly's birthday, Issa's birthday being celebrated, which Tiffany did not come for that, but they all went to visit Tiffany for her birthday. And that's when they
Right.
realized she announced that she was happy. Molly lost her mom. Oh my God. I don't know why, and I get so emotional talking about this. I don't know why seeing Molly lose her mom did something to me because God bless, and thank you, Jesus. I still have both my parents, but
Facts.
this the thought of that just, Chile
Facts.
had me laid out
Facts.
in the spirit.
That's true. I mean, that's real fact. Um, Yeah, that was crazy. And then Kelly, you know, it was interesting to see her journey because she went from just being, you know, silly, crazy, funny, quirky to still having that because that's a part of who she is, but a matureness about her, her finding love, her becoming a mother,
She
her
got
like
pregnant.
going to work with Molly and them. I mean, so it was really interesting to see her story. But sometimes, listen, that's happened to me in my real life. Like one of my friends, we used to go out, you know, doing all kind of crazy nights, her planking up on mailboxes and stuff, doing the craziness stuff. And now she's a mother married with a mother of three. And you're like, are we the same people? You're the same girl that was doing all this crazy stuff all the time with me. And now you're a mother.
Antonio, you talking about me or Jeremy Sugar? Because I can't
It's
tell with
yours,
Jeremy's overhead
child. It's
lighting.
yours. She can't even see mine. So, so
Like
it's like,
Jeremy's
yeah,
overhead lighting, I can't tell. It's like
I
Mariah
know,
Carey
child. It is
drawing
definitely
overhead.
yours. She can't even see.
Thank you, Beauty
Me.
Bestie. I will add that to the list, a skincare regimen.
Yeah,
Um,
it's okay. I can see because mine's not bad either, y'all. But I've
no,
learned a lot.
Jeremy has great skin.
Yeah,
Hey.
you know,
So I agree. And but here's what I also loved about Kelly, right? Is that she was the rock, but the comic relief for this series. And I look at him trying to find his light, y'all. But I
right.
will say this: my favorite Kelly moment was when they went to Coachella and that heifer got so high and she got like tased and she peed on herself. That
Yeah,
was like great physical freaking comedy. It was funny
yeah.
as hell.
That getting wasn't she getting like fingered under the table at the restaurant or something?
Ah, yes, I
That
remember.
Coachella episode, see that little whole little block of episodes is probably the best I think in a franchise because
Yeah.
that was the moment where we thought Lawrence was gone, and then all of a sudden he like pops up at the end, and you're like, that definitely was one of the best moments there.
So
We got 5 minutes before we gotta go, so we need to talk about what are we talking about? Are we talking about
let's talk.
Easter?
We talked about Molly and Kelly. Let's talk about Lawrence real quick. What do we think about Lawrence and his story and how it ended?
I think that was real life. You try to work it out with someone, and she says, "You guys are giving Dewey. You are giving Dewey. Okay, ahead of you guys. You are giving Dewey. Okay, yes, Antoinette. Of course, he's giving dew like the dew in the morning. Gently rest upon my heart.
Yes,
Yeah,
honey, just drip, drip, dripping. Keep
yeah.
going, Jeremy. You you got
Okay,
distracted by this dew.
okay. So, it's real life. You try to work it out, it doesn't work, and then you try to figure out how can we the best situation for us to co-parent while we're still working through emotions, right? And I think they found it was rocky, but they both were committed and kept the child in the center and saying we have to do this, and they found a way to be able to co-parent and coexist and still move on with their lives. He did move on, had a nice girlfriend, but East is always the one. And it's like the Zach and Kelly factor. Like they always need to be together.
Let me tell you, that scene when he came to her office and they ended up making out on her desk, it gave me very first season between those two when they started hooking back up again, like season 3. It gave me that, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love where this is going."
yeah,
And just to begin to wrap this up, let's end with Issa because she was the alpha and she's also the omega for this series.
yes,
I think she did really, really well in a way, is bringing her story, through time jump to being a secure place, right?
yeah,
The show started off with insecure, and you got rapping Issa in the mirror, always talking. Rapping Issa was always the move, though.
it
Like she
was.
was the sister friend that you all want in your life, right? But at the end, when she, was looking in the mirror, she left work and we saw Block had turned into something bigger. She was driving a Lexus. She drove past the dunes. She drove past the Best Buy. She drove past the We Got Y'all.
That was the
And
best part of the episode to me.
actually, no, the best part of the episode was when she took Molly out of her dress and they both had that moment of seeing each other and the transparency. And that's the moment where, I don't know if you've had this yet happen in your friendship circle with your besties, is the moment where you're like, life is now shifting and changing for us and it'll never be the same. But we just have to acknowledge how we've poured into each other and how we can continue to figure out how we can be here for each other as our lives continue to transform in front of us. And that was another moment that got me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? This is not gonna sustain itself. Yeah, I'm struggling here, y'all, because I don't have my ring light. I'm here in Alabama,
It's
and
okay.
the light, the sun is going down. Okay.
It's
Um.
okay.
uh, you look over. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna come down here and talk to y'all in the dark. Jeremy,
We got 2 minutes. We got to come on, Jeremy.
okay, so Issa, yeah, no, I mean, I love to see her journey. To me, these insecure people, I love this show so much because this is one of the few, if not the only show that I see myself as a young black 30 something person trying to find myself in the world, navigating through knowing that nothing is perfect. We all have goals, aspirations, but we live in this life that doesn't ever seem like it's going to get to the next level.
Right.
So, like, I love seeing her journey, all the ups and downs, especially as an entrepreneur, seeing her do that and pay off really well for her. So, I mean, it was great to see that journey. And like you said, I didn't even notice that you said she had a wedding ring on,
Did y'all notice that, y'all? I had to
an
rewatch
engagement
that
ring.
episode today. And when I tell you the spirit of Insecure hit me, it hit me as we were what? Yes, the spirit of Insecure hit me. Don't look at me like that. I ain't crazy. She was putting on her lip gloss. And I was like, why are they spending so much time watching her put on brown lip gloss with a little bit of gold in it? That's because she had an engagement ring on her finger that she was applying that lip gloss with. So when I felt like I didn't understand what Issa's story was ending, I got it because her journey was still going. She was engaged to the love of her life. They had a fabulous freaking home. The little boy could talk and was like, Issa, like he was growing up. She was a part of his life, right?
Yeah.
And now Molly was calling her from Greece to say happy birthday. Because again, it's easy in that moment to say we'll always spend all the birthdays together and to
But that
write.
ain't life. That was it. Ain't real life.
That was
Yep.
life. That's
That was
happy
life.
for me.
And
Life.
listen, right. I gotta go. But yes, this was a great series from that. Well, it was I can't say it was great, but the series was great. And for that, I will be forever indebted to them because this show was everything to all of us.
I agree. I know you have to run. I can close this out if I need to.
Okay, you
Jeremy,
gonna keep talking to the people?
no, I'm going to wrap this up because I agree with you. But I will say this: Insecure has given us Black people and our generation something that we did not realize we needed. And I think
Yeah.
as Black gay men, we found a glimpse of it in Noah's Ark. But then we also saw it being really developed and fleshed out more with Insecure, even as men watching women live their lives and the men supporting them as well. And on that note, guys, this is our last show for the New Year's. We'll
Happy
see
New
you.
Year. And real
Happy New
quick,
Year,
how
Jeremy.
fitting that you have on this different world shirt when I think Insecure will be just as iconic, probably,
It
for
will
years
be.
to come. We'll have a Issa Molly,
I'm gonna get a shirt made.
Tiffany. Yep,
I'm,
get it made.
I'm gonna
Get
get
it
my
made.
homeboy to make me a shirt with all their
Happy
names.
2022. See y'all then. Y'all be blessed
Oh,
and highly favored.
anything else so I
Who
can close?
loves you?
Can I close this
I
out?
do.
And on that note, guys, we love you. Turn on those notifications, like this video if you like this video, and don't forget to leave us a comment if you're watching this back. Let us know what your favorite Insecure moment was from this season in this episode. And on that note, happy 2022. Be safe. Continue to wear your mask, wash your hands, and avoid Omarion and all his cousins. Who loves you? I do. This is Empty. Bye, guys.